Did you know that if you turn your phone, you probably already know this, but just in case my mom's watching, hey mom, if you turn your phone, the video will appear full screen. So we're talking about habits, and one thing that's really important for people to know about habits, for example, trying to repeat something for 21 days or whatever. I'm trying to move the camera so that you don't see that I have pictures of that's so cheesy that I have pictures of my own book behind me. Okay, that's weird. Back to you. It's not necessarily the number of times you repeat something. It has a lot more to do with the behavioral science, like what happens in our brain. So this week on my podcast, I've been talking to experts about habits and falling into negative traps and how we break bad habits and how we establish good habits. One thing you have to recognize is that there's a prompt, there's something that reminds you to either do the good habit or the bad habit. So it might be like when you go to the movies, the smell of popcorn is like, ooh, I want popcorn. That's not necessarily a habit, but the environment and the scent of popcorn prompts the negative behavior. Another example of that might be every night after you put your kids down, your mind goes, oh, finally, I am off the clock. And that's a prompt for you to go and grab a bottle of wine or whatever it is you do at night. That might be a negative habit. A positive habit might be, let's say you're someone who exercises every single day. Maybe your positive prompt is you set out your workout clothes the night before, and that's your prompt. It reminds you oh, I'm excited to go do that. This is an interesting story. So I'd established the habit of creating a daily to-do list. And I did so because I had a prompt. When I would finish teaching my fitness class in the morning, I would drive into my driveway and I would look at my front door and know oh my gosh, okay, there's chaos inside of there. I have little kids and we need to get them ready for school and it's gonna be crazy. And so I'm gonna sit here in my car and I'm gonna make my to-do list. Well, I did that for 15 years. If you've repeated something for 15 years, girl, that's a habit that's gonna stick. Well, then I stopped teaching that early morning class and I lost the habit. And I kept trying to force myself to do it. And then I would get really angry with myself. Why aren't I doing this? I've been teaching this. Why can't I make this habit stick? And I tried new ways to remember to do it. And I tried doing it in a new place. And all the different things I were trying, nothing was working. And then finally I figured out, okay, I don't have the right prompt. So I started laying my push journal across my sink in the morning. And that would prompt me because I was oh, I can't brush my teeth unless I move this freaking thing. And if I'm moving it, I should just force myself right now to write out my calendar. And that really helped me. So you might have noticed in the thumbnail for this video, I put a little sticker on my mirror. One thing I heard from many of you is that you struggle with talking negatively to yourself, and especially when you look in the mirror. So it's real easy to say, don't do that, have positive thoughts. So right now, the prompt to the negative behavior is the mirror. You look in the mirror and you're like, girl, why can't you lose weight? Or why aren't you taller? Or why aren't you shorter? Why aren't you thinner? Why aren't you Instead, put a prompt on your mirror. So just put a Post-it note. If that's something you struggle with, use a physical prompt. Prompts are something that remind you of the behavior that you want to engage in. And then beyond prompts, you've got to make the behavior really easy. That's why it worked for me to put my day planner, my push journal across the sink. It was really easy. I didn't have to say, oh, I need to go sit down in my office and make it something special. The easier we make our behaviors, the more likely we are to do them. And the same is true for poor behaviors. You're not going to be digging into the junk food and drinking sodas and having too much wine if it's not in your house. If you have to say man, I gotta take off my sweatpants, I gotta go take my hair out of this messy bun, and I gotta drive down to the store to go buy some snacks. Well, you're not likely to go do that. We're making it too easy on ourselves to do the negative things. Instead, I want you to focus on making it easy for yourself to do the right thing. I'd love to know what you thought about this video. In fact, you know what I'd love to know? I'd love to know what habit you're going to adjust. Maybe it's one that you're trying to develop, a good habit, or a habit that you're trying to break and you just realized it, you had your epiphany today while you're watching this video. Hey, and thanks for turning on your notifications because I love posting up these videos. I've got a whole series of them, different topics: fitness, social media, business, humor, family, all the things. Love ya, mean it, bye.